Happy Saturday and welcome back to Scale Auto Guys Workbench. Today we're working on this 69 Barracuda from MPC. This is going to be a tribute build to a 69 Barracuda Formula S that my brother once owned. I fell in love with that car when he bought it and brought it home, and been wanting one ever since myself. But I was just a little kid at that point in time, and well, I never had the opportunity to buy one. So let's take a look at the body. First off, here it is. I did a little bit of cleanup work on it already. There was quite a bit of flash around the wheel wells and up here on the front end. I happened to notice, now I don't know if this is supposed to be like this or not, but this, get the camera to focus here, this is not attached on either side. Now it may be that it's like that, it's supposed to be like that, I don't know, but I just wanted to point that out, that that is not attached on either corner. Like I said, I did do some cleanup. There was some mold lines in the back here I cleaned up, and like I said, some flash around the wheel wells, and especially up here around the headlight area. Other than that, the body's pretty clean. I've only noticed one swirl mark on the roof, and I missed a body line. There's a couple body lines back here I got to take care of yet. Here's your interior tub. I have been told that the back seat is very ill-fitting. We'll have to wait and see what I can do with that. Maybe it'll just pop right in there, maybe it won't. We'll have to wait and see. Here's your chassis with everything molded in, typical of the older MPC builds. I'm not a big fan of this, but it is what it is. Just have to deal with it. Now, I noticed when I was pulling all the stuff out of the box and taking a look at it, there's not a whole lot of parts in this vehicle. It's very sparse. I think there's maybe 6 parts trees, and they're small. This particular car it comes with the 383 V8. That's one of the offsets. My brother's Barracuda had the 340, and so it's not going to be a true tribute build, but I'm going to do it as close as I can get to what his car was. Up next, here's that seat back that I've been told does not fit very well in the interior tub. Again, we'll have to just wait and see how that works out. Usually I don't have too many problems, but every once in a while something does stump me. Now this does, you know, you have your stock front seats with the console, then there's a separate console for the custom seats, and this can be built three different ways: stock, custom, or drag. The way I'm going to be building it, it's all going to be stock. I may put the mag wheels on it though. So here's the dash. Got some light detail. It's going to be a little tricky to get that painted up right, but not too bad. Now this is a floor insert, so if you want to, you're going to do it in the drag version. It has all the little body side scoops and the hood scoop. This is to blank out the back seat, if that's what you want to do. Here's the insert that goes into the taillights. Last tree here is your custom seats, seat belts, firewall, and the hood, and it's scored so that you can put the hood scoop on and cut it out and make this an active hood scoop. Next up is your chrome trees. I say trees because there's two of them. One of them is the Krager Super Sport lookalikes, which I think I'll be using. On here it gives you two different sets of chrome wheels, a custom wheel and a stock wheel. It also gives you two different style headlight assemblies. Your stock grills here, and this here is custom headlights. This comes with two metal axles. In the kit, it also has your stock tires with the pad printed white walls, or you can do black walls if you choose, and a set of Race Master slicks. These are all very soft, pliable tires. Even these they're not as soft as those racing slicks, but they are soft tires. So that gives you an option there also. So you have three different options for tires: white wall, black wall, or the Race Master slicks on the back end. Here's your clear glass, all one piece. Your taillight assembly. I guess those would be like turn signals, and your custom headlight lenses. And as usual, I leave those in the bag till I need them. Next up, let me get a hold of it here. It's your decal sheet. Gives you a couple of different styles. You get red, black, and white. The red and black have the 383 moniker on them. The white and these black ones here do not. So that gives you an option, or you can just go without the stripes altogether. Your side marker lights for your air cleaner. Gives you dash gauges, fender badge options, and a few different license plates. It looks like, let's see, California, Texas, Georgia, Michigan. So that's going to be pretty nice. And finally, the assembly directions. All pretty basic, pretty normal stuff. So as you can see, when I showed you the parts trees, I already started doing some sub-assemblies. Like I put the seat back on there, and I got the engine block halves put together, and that's just about the end of that. Now here's another nice thing I like about this. It gives you two different height locations on the little inserts for the wheels. So if you wanted to level or raise the back end a little bit, you can do that. It's optional. I don't understand why they gave you two metal axles when you only are going to be using one for the rear wheels. The fronts have the little pins. But here we go. So let me finish up. I got a little bit more cleanup to do on that body, obviously. We're going to head over to the paint booth. We're going to start slinging some primer. And my brother's car was a forest green metallic. Now, I have had this hunter green. It's just a plain paint, though. It's not a metallic. If I decide to go with this, I'm going to do the mica pearl powder in the clear to give it the metallic look. So I might change my mind. I might go actually buy the actual paint if I can hunt it down. I've looked at a couple of different auto parts stores for the duplicolor matching paint, and I have not been able to find it. So we're going to have to improvise a little bit, I think, and go from there. All right, let's get started on this one. All right, fellas, through a few conversations I've had with folks, apparently this seat back is very ill-fitting into the interior tub. I just did a test fit, and I realized that I had to shape this a little bit more. These corners here were a little bit too square and were hitting against the inside wheel wells and preventing me to get from getting these pins in place. I did manage to get them in place. I got the seat mounted in place. I'll show you that after final paint, because I don't want to put it in and take it out multiple times, because I will end up breaking these plastic pins off. So I just wanted to kind of show you the pre-paint sanding that I had to do on this. Like I said, I had to shape these corners. This back piece that attaches is already kind of concave, but the front piece stuck out a little bit too far. So what I had to do is I had to match this angle onto the front of that, a continuation, if you will, on each side to get it to conform enough that it would fit into place. And I basically put it in on the driver's side first, and then I kind of pried out on the body, and just enough to get that to slip into place. So that's how you do it. Now, it won't fold all the way flat. It only goes to about this angle here, but it will stand up in place. So let's get over to the paint booth. I want to shoot some body color and get all the other associated parts painted. I've got all the stuff prepped, and I'm ready to go. I'm going to be building this in the kind of a stock custom version. This is a tribute to a '69 Barracuda that my brother once owned, and so I'm not going to get everything exactly the way he had his car set up, but I'm going to get it as close as I can. and let's get started. Alright fellas, before I get over to the paint booth, I've had to do some minor adjustments on the body specifically. This front fascia plate that goes in here, that needed significant amount of reshaping to get it to sit in there flush without pushing the body panels out really far. So I had to sand and sand and sand each side to where I could get it to sit in there kind of flush. I've got it just taped in place right now so that I can get some more primer. I'm going to have to shoot another coat of primer on these areas here. And I decided to prop the hood open. Oops, sorry. Decided to prop the hood open so that I can get the primer on the edges of the hood. All I did is took a twist tie and taped it off inside there and bent it. That's it. Nothing real fancy or scientific. So, like I said, because I had to reshape some things up here in the front end, I had some mold lines here that I didn't see before. So I kind of shaped all that, took off some of the primer. So I'm going to have to reshoot the primer on this. I didn't notice it before, but when I shot the primer in here, I didn't get a real good coat, especially along this area here and back here. So I'm going to have to shoot just a light coat of primer on that. Same goes with the chassis. You can see the spots here, down in here too. There's a few little things. So just a real quick light coat on everything, and I'm just about ready to go. And like I showed you on the seat before where I had sand, all that, well, I'm going to have to prime it in order to get that paint to adhere. So another real quick light coat of primer and we'll be ready for color coats. And don't mind the gnat. Alright, let's get to the paint booth. Alright fellas, I got the chassis all detail painted. I really don't like these molded in parts, but this is what we have to deal with. So, okay. I got the tires and wheels mounted. There's a metal axle for the back and the 2 plastic pins for the front. The kit does come with a second metal axle, so you got a spare. I just have to get the engine installed. I did not put the exhaust pipes or manifolds on there yet because I like to do that when I put the engine in so I can align those pipes up to these pipes. So I'm going to do that next. Now, the way this mounts in there, this little lip here goes back here, obviously. I did scrape the chrome off the front of the oil pan here because that goes on this little block right down there. So it'll just sit in like that. Well, it needs a little bit of alignment, but yeah, it goes in there like that, only more to this one side. I'll get it. When I put it in, it'll be straight. But, yeah, there it is. I have the interior finished up. And I did that as close to stock as I could get it. And this seat does flop forward. It doesn't go any further forward than that. You can push it, but it rubs on the, I guess those would be the armrests on the in the back. You can kind of get it down to about there, and that's it. So, and it just kind of sticks there. So that's the interior, and that's all ready to go. I do have to do a little touch up on this body work. The gun went a little crazy on me, and I got some runs that I have to take care of. And I didn't notice it before, but I got something in the roof there, so I'm gonna have to fix that paint, and we'll be ready for final assembly. Alright fellas, done with the paint booth. The clear coat is dry, and as you can see, it turned out really well. But it's bare metal foil time. Alright fellas, 3.5 hours have passed and I've got the bare metal foil done. There's an amazing amount of bare metal foil on this car. I didn't realize how much there was to do when I first started, but let's take a look at it. You got the stripe along the bottom of the body, the wheel arches, all the way around the windows. Front window, back window, around the taillight section, the side markers, which I'll be adding transparent red and orange to it, the door handles. And I'm not sure if there's supposed to be some around here. I'm gonna look at the grill pieces, and if they don't cover that where there's chrome, I'm gonna have to put pieces of chrome up there too. It's not a big deal. You know, I've got the chrome out already. Might as well go ahead and do it. So there's the foil work. Let me research that grill section, and next step is putting the glass in. Alright fellas, I'm just going to go with that. You know, I think it needs chrome across there, but I'm not going to do it because it might be just a little overkill. But there's always a but. There was a problem. This did not want to fit flush like I have it now. What I had to do was take sanding stick and my number 10 blade, and I had to go from the inside, and I had to remove quite a bit of plastic from there, as well as sanding the headlight assembly. And this thing is, once you get it in here, it does not want to come back out. I had to remove, there was ridges along here. I had to remove those, top and bottom. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. Along this edge here, here on both sides, as well as down here on both sides, I had to go all the way around, including up here. So I had to go all the way around this opening on both sides and remove plastic. Now, I wanted to do it with my Dremel, but I figured that thing would eat plastic, and I would end up removing more than I really needed to remove. So I just scraped and used a sanding stick and got it to where this will fit in there. It fits in there really snug, but it fits in. I still have to color in the grill. I just removed it from the tree. So let's get on with the glass and the rest of the final assemblies, and I'll see you at the final. Welcome back to the final. on this 1969 Plymouth Barracuda by MPC. This tribute car brought back some memories for me. Even though I was only about 8 years old, I still remember when my brother brought his to the house for the first time. So I hope that I did it right, especially from doing it mostly by memory of an 8-year-old. I couldn't build it exactly as he had his, but I got it as close as I could. The main differences between this build and his actual car was that he had the 340 engine and this car came with a 383. He also had wire wheels on his, and well, wire wheels were not included in this kit, so I had to go with the Krager Super Sports, and I think they look pretty good with that build. Now, as for the particulars of this build, the positives for this kit are the body dimensions are spot on and everything has a snug fit, and there isn't much sloppiness when it's completed. Once you get that body down in place, and there's two little glue spots in the front and one in the back. Once you get a little glue on there and you stick it down, it stays stuck, and it doesn't, there is a little bit of room for adjustment in there, but for the most part it just falls right into place. There are plenty of options to build this out almost any way that you desire. The decal sheet gives you a bunch of options as well, because a lot of those have duplicates. So, and they're like the one that goes on the air cleaner. There was two different options on that, so you have your choice. Now, on to some of the not so desirable things about this kit. To say that there were some complications with this kit, well, that goes without saying. But anyway, first off, the hood doesn't sit down all the way like it should, and it fits really snug in place. Even after a decent amount of sanding, it still fits very snug. I thought I got enough material off of it. There is a little bit of a gap in the front, but it's the sides that are kind of kind of snug, and even where the hinges are, that fits in quite snugly too, and you can't really remove a whole lot of material off the hinge area because you'll remove the hinges. But as far as it closing all of the way, I think the radiator is what was keeping it from closing down all of the way. But then again, because of the snug fit, if you push it all the way down, you'll have a real tough time getting that hood opened again. So it's a give or take thing. The front and rear fascias, they have to be sanded down on the ends in order to fit into place, as well as the grill area that I showed you earlier in the video, where I had to remove material from not only the body but also off of the chrome grill parts in order to get that to sit all the way up in there. Now, as far as installing the front and rear bumpers, according to the direction sheet, you put those on at the same time you put the body on the chassis. Problem is, if you put the body on the chassis first and then try to put the fascias and the bumpers in place, it's real hard to get them in place. So what I recommend doing is gluing them in place prior to mounting the body on the chassis, because that way there you can get your fingers in behind there and kind of, hold them in place until you get them, situated around and in the proper position, and then let the glue set up a little bit before you try to put the body on the chassis. All in all, even with all of its faults, this kit still builds up into a nice looking car, and it would look great in your display case. I'm happy that I had this opportunity to build it, and it brought back some memories from my childhood. Well, this one's done, and I hope that you enjoyed this build video. If you did, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. It helps the YouTube algorithm to share my content, which helps my channel grow. If you have any questions or comments, please write those in the comments section below, and I'll be happy to respond as soon as possible. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead. If you want more videos like this one, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and make sure to hit that bell icon so that you'll be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching Scale Out a Guy's Workbench, and I'll see you on the next build.